step forwards to my shadow. You are follow in my pattern. I look.
That house with her yesterday.
Hello and welcome to the Ladies' Room. I'm Judy McDowell, your host, and with us today we have chef and food and health adventurer Eileen Weilbacher. Eileen's got a website called Be Healthy Now, and she will actually come into your kitchen and show you how to make your whole diet healthy, and that's a wonderful thing.
Really?
And
she does home visits, huh?
Yes, she does.
If you want me to.
And our wonderful Carrie Lynn Jones.
Hi.
And
Thanks
Cindy
for having me
Sansom
again.
Brown.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I love making the food shows.
Me too.
First, I've been trying out all the
Mostly
foods.
here, we're here for the free
We won't
lunch.
have me cook.
Well, good. I hope you like it.
Get a microwave, I can do it.
So today we're cooking with kale.
Yep, kale is a great vegetable that a lot of people don't know anything about, and we like to get them to experiment with it. So I would like to teach people how to cook it so that they will experiment with it at home.
Could you eat it raw or it's really...
You can eat it raw. You can juice it. You can eat it raw. A lot of people have difficulty digesting raw vegetables, especially something as
Dense.
Tough.
Yeah, it's kind of
Chewy.
tough. It's chewy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you just like gently steam it or like flash heat it, it turns bright green and it has a lot of nutrients in it and it's easier to digest.
Does it have calcium?
It has tons of calcium
okay,
in it.
that's
important. That's one of the reasons that
Well,
I
my
recommend people
nutritionist
eat
was
it.
saying and really pushing it as a vegetable that I should incorporate into my meals. And why? What other nutrients? I mean, she tried to explain it to me, but she just kept saying, make sure kale's in there.
Yeah, you know what? When I studied the history of herbs, I asked the teacher what were the vegetables that had the most, nutritional value. And he said kale and dandelions. I said, okay.
Really,
wow.
dandelions. But not the yellow part.
Not the yellow part.
Dandelion greens.
Isn't that a little prickly?
How does that stack up next to spinach?
This has a lot more vitamins in it.
Really?
And minerals.
Wow.
Minerals are important. We don't get a lot of minerals from our food.
That's true.
So, first of all, I do cook organic. This is organic vegetables, and I like people to use organic ingredients. These are organic as well. You get more nutrients from your organic vegetables because the soil has more nutrients in it. It's not just fertilizer and
Not a lot of
chemical.
pesticides.
So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you cook kale? Because that's the question.
What we do is we wash this
scary
before.
looking. I know.
So you take each individual leaf and you wash it off with water, and then you take your knife and you slice off the.
So you don't eat that other part? You don't eat
That
the
is
stem?
so easy.
Could you eat it or you just...
Okay.
Brussels sprouts.
You could, but I've heard that it's not easy to digest.
Okay.
So I figure, why bother?
Okay.
When I juice, I do use it.
Okay.
And juicing is a good way to take in your kale too. It's in the cabbage family, and cabbage, as we know, is something that is anti-cancer, and it's tons of vitamin C in it. It's something that we should be including in our diet daily. The cruciferous vegetables.
Very good for your stomach, cabbage.
Yeah, it is.
Very healing
Cabbage
for your
juice
stomach.
is
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
If people who
I remember
have
that cabbage soup,
issues.
that diet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
It's a
remember
big
that.
vegetable soup, and you eat it for like a million days in a row. But I'll get rid of these for you,
Okay,
so don't
thanks.
worry about that.
What I'm going to do today is I'm going to start off with a little bit of coconut oil. I'm chopping up a potato right
Coconut
now.
oil, is that good for you? I wouldn't imagine.
What's the difference between all the different kinds of... Oh, I'm sorry, I
I
interrupted
just
your
wondered about
question.
the coconut
Yeah,
oil. I thought that
me
was
too.
not supposed to be so great for you.
A lot of people were told, well, we were told back in the 90s to avoid, probably even in the 80s, to avoid the tropical oils.
Right.
And the tropical oils were pushed out of the market so that they could introduce soy oil. Now, I've later found out
probably
that
corn
soy oil and corn oil are not good for us, and especially now that they're so highly genetically modified. So I tell people in my practice to try to avoid those unless you know that they are organic. And besides that, whenever we eat soy, we should really eat soy in a fermented form. That's what the Japanese do, and that's what we should be doing.
Miso and
Tempeh.
seitan.
And tofu. Natto is another.
And what kind of potato is that?
This is a Yukon Gold potato. I like them. They have a really nice
what
flavor.
does the potato offer us?
The potato has, believe it or not, more potassium than does a banana. Yeah.
Really?
And a lot of people don't know that. And
I love
it has
my
vitamin
potatoes.
C also.
The
And
Irish in me
Even
comes
cooked,
out.
even cooked, it still
Make the
has
best
all
mashed
the
potatoes.
potassium.
yeah, it still has potassium in
Good
it.
mashed potatoes. I cook
And I love it because, you know, it adds a little texture, you know, creamy ingredient into the kale, and it makes it feel a little more like a meal, you know. And usually I would add other things to my meal, but today we're just going to do the kale.
Okay, I see you with the scallions, and I see some garlic there. Would this be a good meal to eat if you're going on a date, or if I had, or if I had to do tarot readings and I'm close to people, are they going to run away from me?
Well, the reason we use the garlic or the onions is because that's what has a lot of vitamins and
Again, minerals, right?
Yeah, and
Sulfur.
you know, antibacterial, antimicrobial, and I was told I was at a lecture on bone health in February, and the lecturer told us that we should be including one of the allium, either onion or garlic family, in our diet every day because it is excellent for our bones. You know, and it's something that a lot of people are afraid of. Like you said, you think you're going to have bad breath or whatever. If that's the case, I tell people just have some parsley with it.
Yeah.
There you go.
know?
That's why they put it on the plate.
Or leafy greens, you know. This has chlorophyll in it, and chlorophyll will cleanse your palate. So
Oh, that
it's a good
coconut oil
combination.
smells like we're
Doesn't
in the
it smell
tropics.
wonderful?
Okay, now, what is the difference?
I'm
Why do we
heating
have
it up.
virgins? We have virgin coconut oil.
Like a virgin.
We have virgin coconut oil because the coconut oil needs to be the first pressing. So what I like to do...
an olive oil
Yes.
that's virginal.
Yeah.
It just
It
means
has-
the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, you know?
I'm just trying to make it stick.
And what happens is it has a lot of nutrients that help to burn fat in the body. It's not actually a fattening fat.
Okay.
So despite the fact that it is fat, it's good fat. And we need fat
We
for
need
our
fat for our
brains, we need
joints,
it
the
for our
joints.
joints, we need it for our nerves.
Absolutely.
Every single nerve in our body needs fat.
Okay.
And people don't realize fat isn't our enemy, sugar is.
Yes.
You know, white flour and sugar are the things that we need to be
All the
avoiding.
white refined things.
Yeah, anything refined, you know?
You know, it
So-
just seems like it's becoming more and more that, I mean, I started with this nutritionist who's pushing me this way, and now everywhere I turn, it just seems like everybody's getting on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Well,
getting
I'm glad.
smarter.
But
and
you
it
need
just
to.
feels reassuring that we're going
Yeah.
in the right direction.
Yeah, we need to do that because a lot of people, they read information and they don't realize that it changes from day to day, from minute to minute practically in the nutritional field. And I do nutritional counseling, so I have to keep up with it, you know, and that's why I do
Right.
take seminars. And I love learning, you know, I think that this stuff is so intriguing anyway.
But isn't this like the nightshades, the pepper and the potatoes? And
Yeah,
that-
the peppers and potatoes
Aren't
are
you
both
sometimes told to
nightshades.
stay
Well,
away from
explain
them?
nightshade.
Yes. Okay. Nightshades are plants that are things that we should be careful of if we have something like arthritis. They can cause inflammation in the body if you do have an arthritic condition or, you know, already are inflammatory. But they are very good for us. Peppers have lots of vitamin C in them. And
More than an orange, right?
yeah.
Really? I didn't realize that.
I eat peppers all year
So a
long.
nightshade, how do I know what's a nightshade vegetable versus a day shade? I'm just thinking.
They
Pull
are
the shades up.
the nightshade family is bell peppers, eggplant, potato,
Okay.
and you know, other kind of peppers, all peppers.
Now you just took the pith out, which is the white, and the seeds, right?
Yeah, well, we use the white, as much of the white as possible, because the white, believe it or not, has the vitamin C in it.
Oh.
Yeah, and a lot of people take that part out, they don't realize.
Well, we were always told when I was in cooking class you're supposed to.
Yeah, well, that's the
Maybe
part
for
you want.
jalapenos. Yes. Sorry. I'm
Well,
from
the seeds
South.
you definitely want to take out of jalapenos because you can burn yourself with that.
Oh, let me
First
tell you.
time I ever made salsa, I was chopping the jalapeno peppers and I went like this.
Oh, no.
And it got right there in
your
my
eye?
nose. No, I just went like that.
Oh,
And man,
Burn.
fire.
like crazy. My eyes started running. I was putting water
I'll tell
on.
you a
Nothing
great
helped.
trick.
What?
And please, everybody, pay attention to this one. I never thought it would work. It works.
What?
If you have burning eyes from cooking, like onions, like a lot of people would if they were,
Right.
you know, cutting up onions and stuff, you take a cracker, like a wheat cracker or whatever kind of cracker you have in your home, and you eat that, and it takes the oil out of your eyes. I don't know how, but it does.
You eat it?
It's miraculous. You eat a cracker, and your eyes will stop burning.
Really?
There's something about it. It's like absorbs the oil.
Wow.
And I've had to do that when I was driving one time because I was cooking, and I drove away with my, eyes having the film of the garlic or onions on it, and I didn't realize, and I started tearing, and they started burning, and I'm driving, and I said, I can't even see. It was dangerous. And I happened to have a cracker in my bag because I brought crackers with me for my snack or whatever, and I chewed on the cracker, and it stopped burning, and I was so thankful because, shoo, I could have killed myself or somebody else for that matter.
Now, what all do you have in the pot?
have a
What
little
have we
water.
got there?
We have our potato, scallion, and
Peppers.
pepper,
Smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
and coconut oil. And I'm coating everything so that it gets the flavor of the coconut and it's a little bit more. Yeah.
My
We're gonna
mother,
add some water to it to help it to cook up a little quicker.
my mother, who was not a great cook, but she read in Eloise or something that if you were slicing an onion, if you put a piece of bread in your mouth, that then
Yes.
then it couldn't come up and get in your eyes.
See, it's the same
Mother would be
principle.
standing there with this probably Wonder Bread, right? she look
What you do with the bread out?
Whatever works, That's great. Because it's the same principle.
The 50s,
Now,
But they knew. But that's a good one to know.
if you're supposed to cut down like on your fatty intake, so would you cut back on the coconut oil?
No, because coconut oil actually is good for your cholesterol. It is not bad. It doesn't
okay.
contribute to it. It helps to burn fat in the body. So anyone who's
Okay.
looking to lose weight may want to
Increase
add
it.
Yeah.
Or have it?
But does
Have
it
it,
taste
cook
like
with it.
coconutty? Does it have a flavor? or
It does somewhat. I find that not enough because I love coconut. But I use it to bake with instead of using shortening.
Oh, wow,
Let's say you were
that's
making
interesting.
It really
Italian
works
food,
great.
which you normally would use
Yeah,
olive
would you
oil.
mix?
How would it?
Yeah, and olive oil is a fattening oil. I do use olive oil also, extra virgin, organic
I
too.
think you have to be a little.
But, for some things you'll use olive oil, but for other things, sauteing, it's great because you can heat it at a high temperature.
Right.
I love
oil
it
you
for Thai
can't.
food or stir fries.
Yes.
That's one of my
I
favorites.
always use it for stir
And
fries.
is it always like in a solid form like that? It's
Like a
not like a
Crisco.
regular oil that you
It's in a
pour.
solid form, under
so
75
interesting.
degrees. Above 75 degrees, it turns to an oil. So in the summertime, you
okay.
can pour it.
It's happened in my cabinet.
Yeah.
My
And
kitchen
you
got
don't have to-
overheated, and I came in, and
But
it was
doesn't
like,
it make the oil go rancid if you don't put it in the refrigerator or something?
No, I was just going to say, you don't have to refrigerate it. It doesn't go rancid.
Coconut oil, think of the
is
tropics.
a saturated fat. And, yeah, right?
It's always in the heat.
It doesn't go rancid.
On PBS recently, the man that wrote "Women Are from Venus, Men Are from Mars." I forget his name, John something.
John Gray, I think. It is.
John
He's still
Gray.
around?
Right.
Yes, and it was really interesting, and he went on and on about coconut oil.
It's
he puts it in
excellent.
his shakes that he makes
I do
every
too.
day.
It's excellent.
And he said it does not absorb in your body like fat. It's
No.
really good cholesterol. Really
Just
good
like
for
this
you.
little spoonful?
Yeah, I put a whole tablespoonful, like a heaping tablespoonful.
In your
And-
shakes. Would you like me to stir that for you while you do the?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And so right now we're just chopping up good, right?
Yeah, I'm chopping up the kale into bite-sized pieces.
All right, how big how many